I want us on the field, working and not talking.
Government says enough talk. It's time for action against AIDS. Zimbabwe's opposition leader defiant following his beating, allegedly by security forces. And Bafana draw against Swaziland, but new coach Carlos Alberto Pereira says he's happy. Live from Johannesburg, this is E! News Prime Time. A very good evening. It seems South Africans may at last be on the same page over HIV/AIDS. The National Strategic Plan to fight the pandemic was unveiled in Boksburg today. The 5-year plan has been drafted under the leadership of Deputy President Phumzile Mlambo-Ngcuka, and it sets some ambitious targets.
Let us pray.
All help is needed in South Africa, with 1,500 new HIV infections every day and 950 deaths. As part of its new ambitious AIDS plan, the government wants at least 80% of AIDS patients on antiretrovirals within 4 years. That's a lot more than the 245,000 people on AIDS drugs right now. The government aims to halve new HIV infections in the same period. It's also proposing more home care programs for patients and more effective prevention campaigns. Ailing Health Minister Mantu Shabalala Masamang was thanked for her input into the plan. But tellingly, there's no mention of garlic, beetroot or African potato as a treatment for HIV. And implicit criticism of the government's previous AIDS program was everywhere.
This strategy must work and must work. I'm going to make a long speech today. I'm making a long speech today, sorry, because I will not be making a speech for a long time. I want us on the field, working and not talking.
Consultation, not conflict, between former foes is the new buzzword.
We are really happy that the government is saying 80% of the people that need treatment will be able to access treatment. We need to work very hard around the health systems and the human resources for health, because it's a big challenge for the rollout of this treatment program.
The government has committed to spending 14 billion rand on the AIDS plan over the next 3 years. But it will need a lot more and has asked business to help.
This plan is a political triumph for the Deputy President. To succeed, though, it needs a big change in public sexual behaviour and a big shift in the government's ability to provide HIV/AIDS treatment and reduce poverty, something it's struggled to do so far. Ben said, E! News, Boksburg.
Zimbabwe's main opposition party, the MDC, says its leader is in intensive care tonight. An MDC spokesperson has told E! News Morgan Tsvangirai has been treated for a fractured skull after allegedly being beaten up in police custody. Tsvangirai and dozens of supporters were arrested during clashes with police on Sunday.
Severely injured, but not defeated. Here, Morgan Tsvangirai is talking to journalists just after appearing in court for defying a ban on political gatherings.
Oh, terrible. Terrible.
It was a horrible assault.
Well, it was a violent, sadist attack on defenseless people.
Yeah, I'm gonna go.
Okay, all right.
Tsvangirai and 19 other detainees were released from police custody after state prosecutors failed to turn up. According to MDC spokespeople, the party leader was then admitted to the intensive care unit of a Harare hospital. They say he was given 2 blood transfusions and a CAT scan. But the hospital was not able to independently verify this. Tsvangirai's supporters remain defiant.
We are not going to be stopped by bullets, we are not going to be stopped by tear gas, neither are we going to be stopped by the police. If anything, we feel motivated, we feel encouraged that the end of the regime is now.
Here at home, COSATU and opposition parties have described the government's response as cold.
It has taken 3 days for the ANC to issue a statement on the situation in Zimbabwe. In it, the ruling party echoes the sentiments expressed by government. The statement contains no word of condemnation, but simply says the ANC is concerned by the events of the last few days.
The MDC says it will intensify its protests until President Robert Mugabe steps down. Kale Nair, E-News, Johannesburg.
Durban's notorious blue light stalker is finally behind bars. Former police reservist Ismail Sheikh was convicted on 2 counts of indecent assault, 2 of kidnapping and 3 of defeating the ends of justice. He's now been sentenced to 21 years in jail for his crimes. And it was all thanks to a third-degree expose that the rogue police reservist was even brought to book.
It was a third-degree expose in 2004 that brought the so-called blue light stalker's reign of terror to an end. For years he had prowled the streets of Durban, preying on young women. 40-year-old father of 2, Ismail Sheikh, would follow them as they left a nightclub, flash his police-issue blue light at them, pull them over and accuse them of drunken driving. But instead of charging them, Sheikh forced the women to perform lewd acts. As he faced his day of reckoning, Sheikh appeared almost disinterested, hiding beneath his sister's headscarf, as a magistrate handed down sentence, jailing him for an effective 21 years. His victims did not want to be shown on camera, but say they are happy with the outcome.
Complete relief and ecstatic. Finally, he's gotten what he deserves.
Sheikh has been granted leave to appeal his sentence. One less sex offender on our streets. Ismail Sheikh's depraved nighttime activities has undoubtedly damaged the reputation of police, but it's hoped his lengthy jail sentence will serve as a deterrence. Vanessa Govender, E-News, Durban.
Let's take a quick look now at the markets.